My name is Lyle Quasim, and in a couple of weeks I'll be 65 years old. I was born in 1943, Chicago, Illinois. My grandfather was a Pullman porter, and goes back to the first labor organizing in the African American community by A. Philip Randolph of Pullman porter workers. And he was in Arkansas, and the train went to Chicago. And eventually he and my grandmother relocated to Chicago with their daughter, my mother, born in Mississippi, Hot Springs, Arkansas, and then Chicago. And then I was born in Chicago, one of three children to Ophelia and Miller. My mother was always in community activist situations. My father, on the other hand, was a capitalist, which is very interesting. But my mother continued with her community organizing, eventually went to work with Mine Mill and Smelter Workers Union. They made a wonderful movie called The Salt of the Earth. I don't know if you've ever seen it. Knew some of those people who were involved in the production of that movie. Was investigated on the House Committee on Un-American Activities, the Mine Mill and Smelter Workers Union. In one of her interviews, they asked her if she belonged to a Communist Front organization. She said, "No, I belong to a communist organization. I consider myself to be a socialist, a communist." I went to Ghana in the 50s when the Russian communists took over under Kwame Nkrumah. Came back home and began to paint the things that she saw. Talked about the transformational moment in the 50s when they stopped in Lisbon, and the plane and the people from Ghana got on, and the pilots were black, and the attendants were black, and back in those days the planes were small, and you could see people in the tower. And she saw black people guiding the planes in, and I mean, it was a moment for her, and she came back, and worked in the community, worked as a community organizer,